as the B-17 passes by, a quick visitor announcement, if I may. Could I remind you, please, for those of you who are in front of the railings along the seafront here, to please remain solely on the dry area of sand and not to go onto the damp areas of sand or indeed out into the water, please, because we do have to obey certain limitations with regard to the display line, and there is an area in which people are not allowed to go. So please do, for your own safety and that of all of the participants in today's show, please stick to the dry sand areas of the beach. Thank you. Well, here is the B-17 Flying Fortress, taking centre stage in front of us and doing so majestically. Orbit, a much smaller bomb bay than that of the RAF's Avro Lancaster, but nonetheless this aircraft could pack a considerable punch.
Didn't see, so I was looking, I was filming it.
The first prototype B-17 took to the air 80 years ago this year on the 28th of July 1935. Only about 150 of them were in service with the then US Army Air Corps, later the Army Air Force, by the time America entered World War II following the Pearl Harbor attack of December 1941. In fact, the aircraft's early usage in combat was with the Royal Air Force, and it was that early experience that helped transform the Flying Fortress, so named because of its heavy defensive armament, into the fighting machine that it subsequently became, and which is represented here by the B-17G model from later in the war. Of the first RAF squadron, number 90 squadron, to operate the Boeing Fortress in wartime operations, half of their missions were aborted without bombs ever having been dropped. That experience showed that it required better defensive armament, a bigger bomb load and better bomb aiming equipment. And when US Army Air Force B-17s, first B-17F models and D models, came into the European theatre in 1942, they had all of those. The main target of the tactic of the US 8th Air Force, I should say, was daylight raids against German industrial facilities. As the Allies gained air superiority over mainland Europe, losses decreased, as they did when the longer-range American escort fighters, the likes of the P-47 Thunderbolts and the P-51 Mustangs, that were able to escort the B-17s to their target deep in occupied Germany, came available, but still anti-aircraft fire flak was a significant danger to the B-17, even with its legendary survivability.
Watch this one.
For all of that, you, I hope, begin to get a bit of an understanding as to why it's so important to preserve this aircraft as a flying memorial to the men of the 8th Air Force who flew and fought in the European theatre during the Second World War. As I said, this B-17, named Sally B, has been operated privately on the UK and European display circuit now since 1975, a truly remarkable run of operations. How appropriate for it to be based at Duxford in East Anglia. of this country from where these aircraft operated with the 8th Air Force.